The population of this island is around 20 million. It's made up of Dayak, Malay, Bangka and others. Even the term Dayak is inclusive of around 200 different ethnicities, so the cultural flavours have many colours and influences. To understand the culture of Borneo, you must understand that the island is made up of 3 different countries with 3 different cultural sensibilities. The vibrant cultural mix can literally be tasted in the varying cuisines across the island, mixing Malaysian, Chinese and other Asian styles with produce and cooking techniques distinctive to Borneo. So let's continue our journey and explore the culture and cuisine of Borneo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
What an eventful 24 hours it has been. A big part of the Trans-Borneo is expect the unexpected. Coming in last night towards the Indonesian border was an absolute epic journey. 5 hours of winching dragged us into the dark, pulling the convoy through some treacherous conditions. It took a lot of work from the Aussies, the Malaysians, the Indonesians and the Bruneian all combined together to get all of our vehicles through, but we did it successfully. The trail took us in and out of the Indonesian border quite a few times, but where we finished up was the actual official joining point between Indonesia and Malaysia on this section of track here. And that's where the unexpected came to a whole new level. We were met by armed soldiers, and understandably so. Here's a group of 15 vehicles coming out of the jungle. There's no post here, there's no immigration, and moving into another country. Of course, it's going to be a concern, especially late at night. Now that concern meant that we were stuck in this makeshift campsite behind me overnight. And we've been here for quite a bit of today as well, waiting to find out what is going to happen.
Everybody okay? You all happy here? Yeah. You want to stay here another day?
No. Not here. Anyway, but we was like.
No, we will brief you on the latest. Pa Harry says most likely they will not give us permission to go to Indonesia any further. So he's trying to work things out. He said don't give up hope yet.
Now, where we are at the moment, we've got immigration, we've got the army, we've got police involved, we've got government officials and customs as well. Now, technically, we've got permission from Jakarta to come in, but not from Kalimantan.
When we try to cross the border into Kalimantan, there is no CIQ point. That means there's no custom, immigration and quarantine point. But it's manned by soldiers from both Malaysia and Indonesia.
This is my first time overseas, so it's been a very big cultural shock for me. I've never really seen a person holding a gun on the opposite team from me, you know what I mean? So that's a really big culture shock.
Going into Indonesia is very tricky. The control is from Jakarta, but the local boys are here, so there's always miscommunication.
We had communicated with this top-ranking government official's office, but that letter was never shown to the official, so she didn't know about giving her guarantee.
When we come to the border, sometimes the border like this, not yet open. So sometimes we can move inside, but sometimes we cannot, so have to reverse back.
If we don't get anything, then we have to go back. We will have to backtrack, and I have made a plan B already, okay? You have to, what do you call this, improvise a bit. This is what I mean by expect the unexpected, okay? Our original plan was to cross the border at Simangaris, and then go to the Rawan Island, and then backtrack to Malinau, and then cross this last frontier, which few men have gone before. This would have been 260 kilometers of hardcore driving. Unfortunately, it has to be done another time. So I may have another go at it sometime in the future. Yeah.
So the locals here are not quite sure of what's happening. We're not quite sure of what's happening, but the word is that we'll be backtracking back into Malaysia, taking on the track we took last night, changing the course slightly and heading for more adventurous terrain.
We're at the Mari-Mari Cultural Village now in the district of Inanam. Over here I'm working as a in-house guide, walking around here and tell them about the culture and traditions of the native peoples here in Sabah. In Sabah, actually we have a more than 32 tribes here, not including the sub-tribes. But in Mari-Mari Cultural Village, we only take 5 major tribes in Sabah only. We got the Dusun tribe, which is known as the farmer. In each of the sub-tribes, they have their own design of the house, and also the material for the house is also different. They're also known as a very good rice wine maker. They are very famous with the rice wine called Lihing and Montoku. Okay, now you can try this one.
I come from a tribe that is in modern day known as the Bajaus. It used to be said romantically that the people that make up the state of North Borneo, either they are horsemen, or they're headhunters, or pirates.
You get a different key of this.
And Mari-Mari Cultural Village is quite special in the sense that it does try to encapsulate most of the major tribes and their way of living, the way they traditionally build their houses, and what are the daily activities. They even cook and prepare some of the local food that belongs to each of those tribes.
Lundayet tribe, which is one of the sub-tribes from the Dayaks tribe, also known as a headhunters long time ago. And then they're usually working as a farmer, a hunter, and also a fisherman.
If you saw any jar from the Lundaya with a red mark, it means it's a tomb, yeah? It's not a rice wine, so don't drink from the wrong jar. Yeah.
It will remove the hair on your leg too. Use the sharp bamboo to remove the hard layer. So we have a Rungus people, which is good in making a gong and also the bead making, hand-woven clothes, and also they're farming the honey. They also live in the longhouse, okay, which is the longhouse still exists until today.
I really love seeing the culture of everything around here. Like the first day we had was great at the Mari-Mari Centre. I'm really looking forward to seeing the culture and just experience what life was like in Borneo.
Then they get the fire. Gong. Last time we don't.
Before I went on this trip, I have like around 20% knowledge on about how they live, how they cook, and how they survive the life that we live in. Now I have gained around 50% to 70% about them.
The Rungus bee house.
The Murut people, also known as the headhunters, they are the last tribe to stop practicing the headhunting culture. They stopped it around 1950s. That's during the World War II. And today they're not practicing it anymore. They are very friendly now. What's your name? Actually, we hope to share to the world what we have here in Sabah. We like to show them the way we lived in the olden days. Don't be shy. Come to visit us in Mari-Mari Cultural Village. Our doors is always open for you. We were gonna wait for you.
So we always have a plan B in place just in case, this is not the first time where we had to go out of our plan. Yeah.
Can we talk about our plan to get out of here if we're doing plan B?
Yeah, okay.
Now, in heading back the way we came, we're going to encounter those same obstacles that caused so much drama for us last night. And we've put together a plan.
Simon has observed our system of working, right? And he has taken note of all the cars. And he has mentioned that we can probably be more efficient if we do things in a different way.
Oh, look, everyone here is pretty competent. They're efficient with their vehicles, and most of the vehicles are set up quite well. So it's not doing things in a different way. It's just planning things a little bit better to be more efficient on the way out. We've sized up the vehicles, the experience and the equipment that are on this trip, and we've got a plan that will get the vehicles out in a far faster and more progressive fashion. And we've got an order of how we'd like the vehicles to go out, and basically it's going to be one big, one small, one big, one small.
Yep.
We want to avoid winching, which consumes a huge amount of time, and we'll simply be setting up a snatch strap behind the bigger, heavier vehicles to drag those lower vehicles through the difficult sections. Jeff has helped with the plan, so I'm probably going to put the Defender down first, Jeff.
Yeah, look, what Simon said, basically there's some vehicles that are quite capable, but probably not heavy enough to help drag another vehicle through, so they'll go through on their own in amongst it before it gets torn up too much. And the vehicles that gave us problems will have a large truck in front of them. Yeah, it's a wide range of vehicles here, all very modified. Some outside the normal realms of modification, some of the modifications we see at home are almost normal place here, and I think that's because the engineering standards at home are quite strict, and here you can do it in your backyard and just start driving it around.
If anybody needs anything fixed, or if there's anything that you're concerned about mechanically with your vehicle, let us know now, so we know what we've got to deal with out there. If there's something broken that we can't fix, let us know now so we can deal with that to make sure you're looked after to get us out as efficiently as possible.
That's very good, very kind of you.
1, 2, 3.
France Borneo 2017. Go!
How low can you get it? If you've got enough length, just put it on a bit quicker.
Winching! Right! Tell Anwar, get a run up and hit it hard.
Part of the Trans-Borneo concept is to introduce some of the local cuisines. If you look at the map, Malaysia and the Borneo part of Malaysia, the northern states of Sabah, or what used to be known as the North Borneo, as well as the southern state of Borneo, Malaysia and Borneo, which is the state of Sarawak. If you look at a map, a long time ago, and still is today, a major trading route for sea traffic that's going from east to west and vice versa. That would mean in the old days, the Chinese and the Indian and of course the Middle East traders, going to and fro by sea. Since Southeast Asia is pretty much in the middle and it has land masses with nice seaports protected from storms, and a lot of traders meet here. That has a very big effect on our local cuisine. The natives here, maybe many hundred years ago, have very simple dishes, mostly from what they can forage in the jungle or plant, and of course the sea bounties. Then we had these influences, the Chinese traders bringing their Chinese cuisine look into here, and the Indian with their spices and very strong recipes. And this has influenced the local cuisine a lot. So what has happened is that the local food is somewhere between these two very different style of cooking, the Chinese and the Indians. And so we have not too strong of a curry, stronger probably soups. And that I find is one of the most interesting thing about the Malaysian cuisine and of course Indonesian as well. Hey, cooking show right now. You guys, boys and girls, this is durian. As you can see, it's very sharp and it's very hard. But just like, the concept of walking on nails, you can actually touch it like that. You get scratched by one of these, sure, blood will spill out. So in order to open this, what you need to do is to identify those lines. Because these things, they are divided into like quarters. So we can just use a knife. Be very careful to peel it off like that. And then you're gonna have to start using your hands to peel it. The really ripe ones will peel off very easily. Oh, that's hot. So there you go. Yeah, they're organic, so they're the real thing. Have one.
So this is the middle section.
What you do is you take one of these. That's the flesh, and it's got a seed in between, in the middle of it.
It's not my taste. No, not mine either. Very different texture.
Oh, I can't do that at all.
Cheese or
Our responsibility here to make sure everyone is feed. This is our first time, and we are preparing food for 50 people, so it's quite challenging. We try to mix the flavors.
Both local and Western flavors.
With a bit of Chinese cooking. Well, basically the flavors of Malaysia.
What do you have in it?
We have curry and we have the Chinese veggie and of course the drunken chicken.
Yeah, especially the drunken chicken. I thought everybody likes it.
It's a mixture of Malaysia and Sabahan flavor.
Our chuck wagon has been working overtime today. They have brought their team down to prepare an excellent barbecue for us. I didn't order that lamb. I don't know who's going to pay for it.
Oh yeah, since we are not far away from KK at the time in Kuala Penyu, so we brought our staff to help us out while we enjoy the occasion.
We've only just scratched the surface with the cultural interest that this island has to offer, and I certainly hope that we've encouraged you to come here and explore it for yourself. Next week, we'll be looking into the history of Borneo and the surprising ties it has to Australia. I'm Simon Christie. Tread lightly, keep it safe, play hard. We'll see you next week.